Please welcome one of the stars of The Man Who Knew Infinity, Oscar and Emmy Award winner, Jeremy Irons.
Being here tonight at the Breakthrough Awards, like being a part of The Man Who Knew Infinity, is very meaningful for me. In a sense, it's personal. My late father, Paul Bourgain Irons, was a CPA, a man who spent his life immersed in the world of numbers. Sadly, I didn't inherit his talent. So I found it genuinely profound experience at this point in my life to discover a new window into a new world of higher mathematics. By playing G.H. Hardy, I learned so much from his life and works, especially his extraordinary essay, A Mathematician's Apology, where he taught me that pure mathematics was not that different from art and poetry, and gave me something to connect with him. I remain fascinated by genius and the complex human equations involved in making any sort of breakthrough. And so it is now my great pleasure to present this next award with another brilliant man who, if he doesn't yet know infinity, can definitely Google it. The CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai.
Thank you, Jeremy. I got my first phone when I was 12. In my case, it was a rotary phone. Hopefully a few of you remember it. I used to love dialing numbers, stare at the dial whizzing by, and try to memorize patterns. Even in that simple circle of 10 digits, there were endless combinations and possibilities. It was my first introduction, I guess, to number theory. G.H. Hardy, one of my favorite mathematicians, who was so elegantly portrayed by Jeremy in the movie, said, "A mathematician, like a painter or a poet, is a maker of patterns. If his patterns are more permanent than theirs, that's because they are made of ideas."
Our next laureate has done just that. He has not only made big discoveries in number theory and other fields, he's found unexpected lines of communication between them.
Fourier was a French mathematician. He was also involved in the military. He was part of Napoleon's expedition to Egypt. It was quite hot. He started thinking about how heat propagates. He developed a very important equation. It tells you how heat is going to evolve in time. The idea is to break the problem in elementary waves, like sine and cosine. Fourier analysis became an extremely important tool. It gives you a way to decompose problems in some pieces which are easier to solve. For instance, somebody attaches a guitar string. What are the different harmonics that this sound is made up of? They worked quite a bit on a very important equation in quantum mechanics, the Schrödinger equation. Traditionally, quantum mechanics and Fourier analysis are considered as completely different parts of mathematics, but it is not so. We discovered new techniques in Fourier analysis that led to a complete solution of the Schrödinger equation. These techniques also solve some famous problems in number theory. It's quite rewarding because for more than 100 years, people didn't know whether these equations had solutions. If you have a question which is generally perceived as unapproachable, often you don't even quite know where you have to look to get a solution. From that point of view, we are rather like Fourier, stranded in the desert, hopelessly lost At the moment you get this insight, all of a sudden you escape the desert and things open up for you. Then we feel very excited. These are the best moments. They make all the suffering with absolutely no progress. They're really making it worth it.
For transformative contributions to combinatorics, partial differential equations, high-dimensional geometry, and number theory.
The Breakthrough Prize is awarded to Jean Bourgain.
Jean Bourgain can be written to at Princeton's Institute for Advanced Study. The address there is what else? 1 Einstein Drive.
Perhaps the most intense moments in a mathematician's work are those times a novel idea pops up, hopefully the key to progress. But those moments are rare, the product of an endless recycling of earlier thoughts. What drives us? We're really the prisoners of the need to understand and to go beyond the frustration of previous failures. The few times we see light is what makes it all worthwhile and drives our passion onward. Thank you.